Hey, Lab.
Heyo! We are now at General Power and also Imhotep's place.
Nice.
Imhotep has a lot of stuff. Sorry, Alps Warrior, my truck is so in the way. Let me just move it to the side a bit.
This is an awful lot of stuff. General Power is basically who's providing all of the power for the server. Everything on the server is powered by General Power.
I was just saying, look at the stockpile of gold.
That was precarious. Having to jump up onto the top of the ladder and then jump off the top of the ladder onto the stockpile. But dear gods. The stockpile of metals alone
is insane. These stockpiles are insane.
My goodness.
More gold up there. And more gold over there.
As is mentioned in chat at the moment, there is a lot of people are actually switching their private setups to a bit more of a public sort of public utility.
Yeah.
I believe Lady Sheila is amongst them. Is that right?
I plan to do that probably tomorrow. I'll jump on here because obviously today we're just going to do a tour and we're going to, just obviously the meteor's been taken down and stuff. But tomorrow I'm going to start converting the cookhouse into like a public cookhouse for everybody.
And what are you
take my
using
claims
that
off
for?
it and stuff.
So, like, anyone can make use of all of the
yeah. So basically, all the mass of ingredients that I've stockpiled, anyone can come in and just use them. Obviously, anyone that wants to put ingredients into the community project can do that. Anybody that wants to take food out, wants to cook food there can, and anyone that wants to take out can. Anyone that wants to sit and sort through the huge numbers of chests can do that too. Well, if we swing past my place, I'll give you our authorization, and you can see exactly like how much food and how many chests there are and stuff. So yes,
sounds like a
plan.
Do you want to
mow down here?
Do you want to take us over to your place? Because I believe Marissa's place is nearby, and they have to log off.
Well, I was thinking, if we can quickly go through Wild and Sandman's place now, with just a quick look at that on the way past, and then we'll zip along the road into town, and then my place is just down there. Yes. Basically. Let's do some turning.
As you can see, the road all the way around the planet has been. Medians is working on
we should do like
items.
we should do a little run around there maybe. A little run around the belt road.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. I think Medians is working. I'm not sure if that's her personal project or if that is going to be more of a government area.
Where's that she's working on? Sorry?
Just off the belt road in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, right. Well, we'll go and check that out if we do a little run around the belt road then. Let's just go into first person again. I prefer driving in first person, but like sometimes it's just easier in third person to do a little maneuver or whatever.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So up here, and I'm just going to turn the truck so that it's going down the road here. And out here, all the way down to all around here is all Wild and Sandman's place. It's massive.
Hasn't changed too much from the last time I saw it, actually. Though,
no,
well, with the exception of sky stockpiles. Those are definitely.
Everyone has loads of sky stockpiles nowadays. It's just the whole server sky stockpiles, and I imagine over time that will probably change. People will start going to the effort of burying them and stuff like that. But I think just to get to the point that we're at.
People needed ridiculous amounts of mass storage, yeah.
Yeah, and also, like, we're at the point where we're progressed quite far. So the only thing to do after this would be to make things prettier, to do things like bury the stockpiles, make the buildings look pretty, make them out of things like ashlar rather than having things out of, like, mortared stone and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, the road has got ashlar stone along it. That's an expensive road. Ashlar stone is one of the highest tiers. Well, if you come up onto the, I almost jumped off to my death. Well, my not death. But if you come up onto the stockpiles and look out across the ocean, you'll see that the road is
Let me come up here.
Wrapped in ashlar.
Anything over here?
Yes. Well, I mean, you'd be able to see it from up there as well, but...
Let me do some stockpile parkour then.
Indeed. Hardcore parkour. I would not make that jump, though.
No, I'm going to come around and be sensible.
Yes. But yeah, these ashlar roads are gorgeous. I have completely stuck myself in that little maze of storages. But it's amazing what the dapperlings have managed to do. Can you see the ashlar?
Yeah.
Those
so
little,
those fences along the road are ashlar, aren't they?
Yeah. Basically anything that looks especially fancy made of stone is probably ashlar. And that is expensive stuff to make. It's one of the highest tier building materials in the game at the moment. But the world has definitely come an awfully long way. And it's honestly just amazing to see what people have built up to. Now, for those who are wondering, the world will continue beyond the meteor. This is not the last night of the server. This is probably the last time that I'm going to be streaming the server. Lady Sheila may continue to play and may continue to stream. I'm not sure what your plans are. Do you have any plans?
I plan to take a step back now. I've done a lot of cooking. I've done a lot of looking after people's food needs and things like that. And that's why I want to try and make things a little bit more... look at that place. That is fancy. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I've done a lot of cooking. I've done a lot of looking after the food needs of people on the server. So I'm going to sort of hand that over in a way to the general community a bit more. That's why I'm going to make that. So I'm going to be moving to my quarry, I think. I'll probably do a little bit of cooking over there. Maybe have a very small shop or something. But the main kitchen is going to be going to the rest, the server as a whole. And anybody who wants to practice their cooking over there and stuff, they absolutely can.
Yeah. Right now, my XP requirements per star are as high as they're ever going to be. Once they hit level 7, they never get higher than that. So it's taking me roughly 14 days per skill point. Now I can rise that a lot higher. I can almost double that. So even at best, it'll probably be about a week between skill points. But, if you play the game long enough, you will get to the point where you can, know everything in the game. It's going to take a long time to do that as a single person. But, it is actually possible. So
this is my place now. I have probably remodeled it a few times since the last time it's been seen. So that side is my house section. That I will probably take down and move. I'll probably keep this brick section, which is the main part of the kitchen.
The main cookery. The cookery nookery.
Cookery nookery. Yeah. So we've got some bits in here that are housing, which I don't know if people have seen recently.
You've actually got a stuffed elk.
Toilets and stuffed elks and things to just bring up
my this is a
my
fancy
housing.
Bathroom. My lord.
That's mostly down to you. I've been buying all your stuff.
Stuffed wolf.
But yeah, I'm gonna just authorize you to have a look through the chests and stuff, because that's one of the more impressive parts of it is actually the storage.
Okay, so vast amount of carcasses. Various greens, fiddlehead ferns, so on and so forth.
So you can sort of see. And I don't know if you can see the basement from here. You can see some of the overflow.
Oh, that's a good point.
Not everything connects to everything else.
Linked storages.
It's too big. Sorry?
Linked storages. I'll try and open them up so I can have a look. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a rather large amount of stuff. Loads of coal, foods. Look at the tiny scroll bar, chat. The amount of storage in this place is redonkulous.
But you can't even see all the storage. There's more downstairs.
Now this
in the basement
goes to show how much Sheilab had to expand. And this wasn't so much so that Sheilab could cook loads of things. It was partially so that she could buy things to keep the farmers going.
Yeah.
Because the farmers relied on cooks, because there was pretty much anything the farmers could farm, with some exceptions, wasn't used, generally speaking, by like campfire cooking and stuff like that. It was mostly people who had spec'd into cooking that would use quite a lot, like flour and stuff like that. You can't do anything without with campfire cooking.
So I've been expanding down here, so it's a little bit messy. But if you go up this ladder here, we've got a stock room too. And this is basically just like an intake for the shops. And you can see I probably emptied this about 36 hours ago.
Right. Okay.
And they're all full. There's 10 chests full.
Yeah. That is how Sheilab has been trying to make sure that the economy has been flowing, at least in regards to her particular shop.
And the coal storage is also full of rubbish, so I need to clean that out as well. So I'm going to need to come on later and clean all of that out so that people can start selling to me again. I originally had everything just going into all of the chests, but I had to sort of say, okay, I'll take 10 chests worth at a time to sort of put my foot down a little bit on how much I would take.
Well,
because otherwise
after a certain point,
all my time managing inventory. Sorry?
Yeah. After a certain point, you, as much as you want to make it possible for the farmers who, for a large way, only get to
they only really get to sell to me or Novo, and it's horrible because like we'll both be out of money, and then the farmers will be like, I want to sell to someone, but there's no one's got any money. So that's a problem with the food industry at the moment with us.
Yeah. Right. If we head to Hybrid Vitae's place and then turn left, go through a long tunnel.
Okay.
We will apparently get eventually to Melissa's place. I'm looking around for the name of their place, though. Or the lag here and there.
Long tunnel through Calfat's place.
I mean, there's the Tunnel Road project. Mel 724, the Church of the Holy Meteor. Calfat Field. That's the one with the aqueduct.
Unit 6.
Oh, there we are, Marissa's hut. Right, okay, yeah. Okay, I see.
Oh, right, yeah, that's barely anyway away.
Alright, before you leave main town, do you want to go through the park and community centre? They're very well made. Well, what happened to the community centre that was being built by Inflectus?
I think it's still there.
Are there 2 community centres now?
Are we just going to walk there, actually? Because,
I'll
leave the truck parked here and we'll just walk through town.
Sorry, Marissa, Ham decided that I needed to see this more. Blame them.
We'll be there in just a minute.
Marissa has to log off, though.
Oh, why didn't you say that?
I did. Twice now. Is this the same building? It looks very different from before. It's been replaced with...
Yeah, it used to be out of brick. It's now completely out of ashlar. It is the same building though. They've just they've reclad the outside. They've completely reclad it.
Okay, that explains why it looked a little bit different.
But it's the same overall shape and everything. Oh, I see. And there's a lot of work.
No, it's definitely not the same shape. This is a different building. This is 100. I mean, it might be in the same space, but it's a different shape.
It's in the same space, and it's kind of got some of the same features. But yeah, it's been very much remodeled.
It's been completely remodeled. It's not as tall. It doesn't have that kind of like spires and roofs. Yeah. All the elevator inside. That was the first elevator I used on the server, as it happens.
Aww. Pretty though.
It is very pretty. It is. It has a really, really nice aesthetic. Really nice. I love these windows though. These windows are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
They are lovely, aren't they?
I like the little lamps as well.
That's the composite wood, isn't it? This is all ashlar and composite.
Yeah, it looks like. This is really, really nice.
Is it like a sandstone version of ashlar, I think? Is that right?
I think so.
Lumber floors.
It's not quite as intricate as the last one. That had like a. I mean, this one's kind of got a library, but it's to be honest, this one does remind me more of a community center. I'll be honest, but largely because it's less ornate.
Yeah.
The other one was more like a full-on government building. It reminded me actually of the government building in Norway, where the king goes and where they have their officials come together to make, basically the Westminster of Norway, if you like. It had like libraries and stuff, like full-on libraries in certain parts, and places for straight up tourists, and then other places for official business. Whereas this reminds me of the community centre in one of the towns I grew up in. It's a bit more open plan. It's not so much a library as there are bookshelves and magazine racks, and places where you could perhaps get the local road map or a pamphlet on things to see in and around the town. Maybe a little kiosk for some light shopping and stuff like that. Little nooks to sit down, but not really a seating space. This does feel more community center than the last one. Like genuinely, a lot more actual community center, like real world inspired. Whereas the other one was just, honestly, that was I'm gonna be honest, that was what I would imagine a community center would be in a ridiculously affluent country, like ridiculously affluent. It's like, yes, we've got a full fountain inside and palm trees. No, they're real palm trees, because why not? Also, that isn't gold leaf. That's just solid gold. Because again, why not? When you're this wealthy, you may as well. I mean, what if we want to come down here? I don't want to be in squalor, my lord. You might be used to it, peasants, but not me.
I just have to say something to one of my guys in chat. Wagashugi. He knows what it means.
Wagashugi.
Wagashugi. Okay. It's a thing out of Littlewood. All the goblins say poogie woogie, but sometimes they say wagashugi. So if someone says poogie woogie to me, I say wagashugi back in the comments.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you so much.
Into the stream and said poogie woogie.
For the subscriptions, by the way, peeps. Shaq Aldraconis, Danny Banani, Ika, Dr. Joey, Sith Forever, thank you very much for all the subscriptions and cheers, and thank you very much for the hype thing that's going on. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed that community centre. It had such an honest feel to it. It was sincerely somewhere that, I could imagine like going and meeting up with friends before heading out to some local landmark. It had a useful feel to it. Whereas I think the last one was so ornate, you'd almost feel like, I wouldn't actually go there to use the library because I'd be afraid.
A little over-engineered.
It wasn't so much over-engineered. It just felt so. How to put it? You know how sometimes you look at are we going to drive to?
You're driving.
Oh, I'm driving. Okay, very well. Sometimes you'll get ornaments that also are functional, but they're so pretty, you'd never want to use them for their function. They just end up being ornaments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you'll get vases and stuff like that you would never actually use as a vase because it is way too ornamental. And then you've got vases where, well, actually, it's a vase. What do you think you're going to do with it? You put plants in.
Basically, a giant bridge. The whole house is a giant bridge.
Okay. I'm going to stretch that one over. We are now doing 100% Austin Powers. 100% Austin Powers. Biodiesel was right in my way. We can't use the wind mirrors, unfortunately. I think this is it. Marissa's shop. Some wood, goods, and raw resources. Sheila, use your amazing hunting skills.
And if that wolf is like... He's gone. I was going to say, it's hard around town to hunt because you're not allowed to hunt on other people's land claims. So I end up wasting a lot of arrows. Because I like to get my arrows back because I'm allowed to do that. I have skills.
I think this is Marissa's spot.
Yeah, it says on the front.
And I'm assuming this is what Marissa wanted me to check out as well. It does look actually quite nice.
So many stockpiles. Empty stockpiles. I feel jealous.
No worries, Marissa. You don't need to let it in. It does look like a lovely spot. You've done a lot with the land, I think. It's actually pretty cool. I like the little windmill you've got there over the tunnel. What do you sell? Chains, logs. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
That looks like a carpenter's house.
Yeah, it does look like a carpenter's house. I mean, there's a bit of brickwork there as well. Okay. Well, how much longer do you want to do the world tour for, Sheila?
I don't know. Is there anybody else that I think we'd just do requests? Maybe visit people that are requesting us to go visit.
Sure.
And then wrap it up. Start on Divinity then.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you just left the cat on the back. Wow.
Oh, I tweeted it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize it was a surprise. Sorry. You had to tell me where there's a secret.
Oh, that's right. Obsidian Mist wanted us to do the belt.
Okay, we'll do the belt. I think Hybrid VT might be waiting for us as well.
Okay, sure. So
let's just round the corner.
Oh, Amy overslapped a bit. Oh, sorry. Well, don't worry. We will have it in VOD format.
This road goes to the belt anyway, so this is Hybrid.
Parking wherever she damn well pleases.
Pretty much. People don't go round.
No, they can't.
Yeah, they can.
They totally could not have gone around that truck. It was literally in the middle of the road. There we are.
Vita's place. Full of storages and cool things and...
Oh, Marissa was saying that an admin could let us in, but it's not a priority. You didn't need to rush on in. That's very kind of you, though.
Kitchen. And outside. And upstairs. Oh my goodness. So much stuff. Hybrid VT is, I believe, just doing mostly farming. I think possibly some other things.
I've only swung by a couple of farmers in total. They've had quite awesome buildings to be fair.
We could go past Ham's place then.
Farming and road work. Okay. Right. Well, apparently, Sheila, do you want to head back to Marissa's since while Magic is here?
Yeah, let's just walk over there quickly.
Yeah. And then while Magic can let us in.
Yeah, I'm outside the door.
Oh, thank you so much for all of the subscriptions and support, chat. Diolch yn fawr pawb. Inicia and the Dudeness24. Thank you very much for that tier 2 there, mate. Thank you so much, in fact.
Well, there's basement and everything.
Very kind of you.
Like it. Oh, and there's more basement. There's like basement and basement and basement.
I've had so many 9-month subs this stream. It is kind of shocking. My lord. So many Twitch babies. Up through the trees.
Ah, I'm stuck in the bathroom.
Tree house.
So pretty. Little room for the research table.
Demon works. If a new server gets started, I may well buy the game to build a tower on top of a mountain. Oh, I wonder if I can see the community center from here. No, I can't. That's a shame. But seriously, I gotta say that Ashlar looked amazing. It was such a good design. I really did. I really did find the community center really. I think those sorts of like public buildings, people have put so much work into them.
Yeah.
And Eco is the sort of game where if you put that work in, people will use it. Like there is a reason to use such buildings in Eco. Whereas, to certain degrees, games like Minecraft, you've got a center. You build beautiful buildings in Minecraft, but there's not really a reason to use them as much. They're just there to be pretty and to be looked at.
Yeah.
Once you've seen them once, you don't always come back a second time. Like you drink it in with your eyes and you're like, my God, this is amazing. You did all of this work and it's fantastic and I could never do this. But now I've seen it. And that memory is good for me. If I wanna see it again, I'll visit it in my mind. I don't need to actually go there. But in games like this, like you build a community center, you build a place that has a function, and people will come back to have a look at it. And to use it, and it's so cool, and that's one of the things I love about
like libraries. If I would have loved it to have the community center, even if it was just a shack early on spawn. If we have a fixed spawn again in a server, what I'd love to do is to build the starts of a little community center on spawn.
Yeah. No,
and then cool. You can put signs up and have all the rules of the server and what you can things like. Please realise that if you drop your litter on the ground using the delete the trash can thing, it will drop it on the ground, not just delete it. Stuff like that. Actually. Stuff for newbies, tips.
Yeah. Leaving all the doors open. Because honestly, with this lag, if I stop to close every door, I might be there for a very long time.
I'm terrible. I just go through everything. Like
I'm loving how many little nooks and crannies there are here. And you can just like slip through one door and into another. It's actually fantastic. But yeah, to have a server of this size again would be a lot of prep work. I'd probably get it professionally hosted. We'd probably put a lot of thought into how many people we were going to get in there. And the kind of modding requirements for that. Make sure that we've got mods in very spread around time zones. We actually did quite well for that, though, this time, to be fair. We did have mods that were on quite a lot
I think for a first go at a server like this, we've done
I don't think anyone was really expecting it to be as visited as it was in the end. Oh, kitchen as well. This is gorgeous. This place is absolutely fantastic.
I definitely think if you do another one where you're heavily streaming it, that a high collab setting with less skill game would be a better idea.
Absolutely.
The smaller ones. If there was one that was set up, say, that wasn't being streamed and was more unofficial, and maybe was only going to have the sort of 20, 30 people on it, then that would be good for a medium collab. But anything that's being actively streamed needs to be high, I think.
And that's an interesting thing, because El's Warrior there saying that despite... Well, we had issues with people bumping into each other all the time, because of and initially that is, we had quite a few people who weren't exactly thrilled to have neighbours. They specifically went far away to get away from people. But Elswari is saying there about having a smaller world, because they feel the size of this world made pollution a non-issue. And I guess in a way, it kind of did. Yeah. In a way, it did mean that
people could sort of get away from other people.
Yeah, like Leaf's pollution
miles away.
Didn't really affect anything. There's enough plant life on this world. There's enough world where the plants weren't interrupted because of urbanization, that the world could deal with quite a large volume of air pollution. And generally speaking, the ground pollution spreads in such a way that if you're just on the other side of the planet, it's not going to have a practical effect. It'll make that area like actively hostile to plant life, But if there are no farms there, if it's not a rare biome where the flora and fauna are going to be really missed, it's not a big issue, I guess. Right, I shall hop in the car, and we've got another battle on stream that's going to take care of. So I shall be right back.
I will take us to the Belt Road, and then we will start driving down it once you come back.
Okay, awesome.